And new tonight, police seal off the home of a missing Wheat Ridge woman, now missing for over a week, along with both of her cars. Only on 7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen talking with concerned friends who fear something has happened to her.
Well, Annie Meyer left her cat here in her house, both of her cars gone. No one has heard from her. It's enough that officers will be serving several search warrants here at her home first thing tomorrow morning. When Annie Meyer didn't show up for work,
just blown away.
Her friends knew something had to be wrong.
She's a workaholic, and for work not to hear from her, and it's not her.
Police tell us the last time anyone talked to Meyer on the phone was February 23rd. Co-workers received a text message on the 25th, but no one knows the last time anyone actually saw her or her two cars. Police released these pictures today of the models she drove.
Do you think there's foul play?
You know, what we are is concerned.
Red tape on her house as detectives seal off possible evidence. They'll also search bank and phone records. Right now, they say Meyer's roommate is not cooperating.
We haven't learned a lot from the roommate. We've talked to her a couple of times on the phone. We would really like to speak with her in person. We haven't been able to make that happen yet.
Meyer's friends describe her as a longtime Wheat Ridge resident who loves golf, camping, and softball. They just want the message to get out.
That we all love her, and I want her to get home safe and sound.
And if anybody knows anything, if anybody's seen her face, you know, please just call Wheat Ridge, let us know.
And here's a look again at those models and the license plate numbers. Friends say Meyer had recently bought the silver Toyota RAV4, and the 1995 Toyota pickup was her old car. Detectives are checking automatic license plate readers all over the area to see the last time these plates were recorded. If you have any information about her whereabouts, contact Wheat Ridge Police. Reporting live in Wheat Ridge, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
A developing story, the mystery deepening in the investigation of a missing Wheat Ridge woman, Annie Meyer. Tonight, a family and friends organizing a search. And 7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen is live. Jacqueline, you found out her roommate still hasn't come forward.
That's right. The roommate who's lived here with Annie for the last couple of years, police say it may be the last person who's seen her, but you can see here police sealing off the home today and tonight. They tell us Melissa Miller isn't saying much. Tomorrow is Annie Meyer's 52nd birthday, and no one knows where she is.
The longer it goes on, the worse you feel.
Her best friend, Luann Jakin, drove to Wheat Ridge from Pueblo tonight just to spread the word, help find Annie.
Her other friends are reaching out to each other, and what can we do, what can we do? And for Melissa to not have reached out to anybody, I think is a little strange.
Melissa Miller is Annie's roommate here. Police searching the home today say they want to talk to her in person, but she has not come in yet. Annie works at this downtown Denver U.S. bank. Her supervisor tells 7 News Melissa called in to say Annie would not be at work for a while. Annie hasn't been heard from since February 25th, and both her trucks are missing.
We have a big family, and it's all across the United States.
Her brother Mark, speaking with us on the phone from California, says Annie has 8 brothers and sisters and is dedicated to her work, her friends, and her family.
She calls my mom every Sunday, and when she didn't call the last few Sundays, of course, my mom was concerned as well.
And family members are planning to come here as soon as possible. One friend I talked to says she's organizing a $1,000 reward for information. Other friends are planning to come to this neighborhood on Saturday to pass out flyers and possibly do a search as well. They say they just want to do something to help them, make them feel like they are trying to find Annie. Reporting live in Wheat Ridge, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
For the first time, we're hearing from the mother of Annie Meyer, the Wheat Ridge woman, now missing for more than 2 weeks.
Her face is always there, you know. You close your eyes and it's still there.
7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen live in Wheat Ridge, where
these flyers have been passed out all over the area, including here at 38th and Wadsworth, posted here on a lot of the business doors. Family and friends we talked to say they just want to keep the picture out there because someone knows what happened to Annie.
She called me every Sunday morning, faithfully.
Pat Meyer knew something was wrong when her daughter Annie missed her weekly phone call.
She just would have not taken off by herself. She's just not that kind of person.
From her home in Minnesota, Annie's mother waits for word from her other children, now headed to Colorado. Annie hasn't been heard from since February 23rd. Her 2 trucks also missing.
Police seem to think out there that they're stashed in a garage or a remote place, and it would have taken 2 people to take them.
Wheat Ridge police searching the home last week now say Annie's roommate refuses to talk to them. Since there's still no proof of a crime, their hands are tied.
I actually lived here.
At Annie's home this weekend, her close friends,
She taught me how to golf.
She's my bowling partner.
remembering better days. They've been posting flyers, organizing searches, offering a reward.
We love Annie. We all want her home.
So does her mother, still waiting for that phone call.
There's no answers. That's the hard part.
And this reward is now up, we're told, to $10,000. Annie's family is getting here today and tomorrow. Friends are already organizing another meeting next Saturday to try to organize and communicate with each other, and they're going to launch a website too. Meanwhile, the police tell me they are analyzing bank and phone records, trying to get some leads, but they're hoping this story will bring in more tips. Reporting live, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
Exclusive new information on the disappearance of a Wheat Ridge woman. 7 News learning that police now believe Annie Meyer hasn't been heard from for more than a month. 7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen live at her home. And Jacqueline, that's much longer than previously thought.
Here at her home, a yellow ribbon tied around the tree in her memory. Police originally thought Annie had talked to a friend a couple of weeks ago, but it turns out that might not have been Annie on the other end of the line. Tonight, her roommate still isn't talking, but her family is now here, and they're begging for help.
I'm sick to my stomach, just sick all inside.
There's no doubt in Mark Meyer's mind, if his sister Annie were safe, she'd contact her family.
Her birthday was the other day, and we were just hoping.
That hope is fading, with no word from Annie, her 2 trucks still missing, and a new timeline. Police now say February 7th was the last time anyone saw Annie in person. She left work early, saying she was sick. On February 10th, she spoke on the phone with her mother, her last confirmed phone call. Then police say there was a flood of text messages saying she was sick and wouldn't be coming to work. A friend called Annie on February 23rd, but now says she can't be sure it was really Annie she talked to. February 27th, the last text message sent from Annie's phone. February 28th, the first report to police. Police say Annie's roommate, Melissa Miller, refuses to talk to them, and her story has had discrepancies.
Why not call the roommate a person of interest?
That is mostly associated with a criminal act, and I don't, so far our investigation has not uncovered a criminal act.
Annie's family has now arrived from all over the country. She has 8 brothers and sisters, all desperate to know where she is.
We're never going to quit. That's the bottom line. We're not going to quit because we're not quitters.
Information family is looking into a private investigator, and police are serving another search warrant here tomorrow. The leads are few and far between, but it's obvious that the people who care about Annie are not giving up hope. Reporting live, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
And 7 News continuing to uncover exclusive information in the disappearance of a Wheat Ridge woman, Annie Meyer, missing for more than a month. And now for the first time, we are hearing from her roommate's family. 7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen's been on this since day one, and Jacqueline, Meyer's roommate, agreeing now to take a polygraph.
Yeah, Annie's roommate, Melissa Miller, lived in the basement here, now sealed off with evidence tape. She's refused to speak to police in person, but tonight her family is talking for the first time, telling her side of the story.
Do you think she did something to Annie?
No, I don't.
For her father, the cloud of suspicion hanging over Melissa Miller is hard to understand.
I know my daughter's a good girl, and she hadn't been brought up like that.
Today, police once again searched the home of Annie Meyer, who hasn't been seen in more than a month. Her 2 trucks still missing, and her roommate, Melissa Miller, lawyering up.
The roommate is absolutely someone we would have liked to have talked to. That's not an option, and we're going to have to find out what happened to Leanne Myers by a different route.
Why isn't she talking to police?
I don't know why. I really don't.
Miller's father says she hasn't seen Annie since February 25th, and she's taking a lie detector test this week to prove it. But it's a private polygraph, not with police. Meanwhile, Annie's family is asking letter carriers who know this neighborhood to be on the lookout for signs of Annie or her trucks.
Pay attention, keep your eyes and ears open, Always look for anything out of the ordinary, anything suspicious.
Finding Annie is the only way this nightmare will end, both for her family and Melissa Miller's.
I just hope Annie's all right. I just hope no foul play happened to her.
This door is sealed again today. Another strange element, in the weeks before Annie was reported missing, coworkers tell us Melissa was calling to report that Annie was sick and wasn't going to come in. Now, though, Melissa refuses to talk to coworkers, friends, or family members. Reporting live, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
7 News starting with a developing story, a woman missing for more than a month, and now Wheat Ridge police with their first possible break in the case. Late today, a truck belonging to Annie Meyer is discovered.
7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen live at 72nd and Sheridan. Jacqueline, police now trying to figure out how long that truck's been there.
How long it was here, how it got here, and police aren't saying how they found out that it was here in this vacant grocery store parking lot, or at least in this area. Police do tell us the truck had no obvious information pointing to where Annie Meyer is, but at least it's a clue. A big break in the mystery of Annie Meyer's disappearance. Police find one of her missing trucks in a parking lot about 3 miles from her home. They'll process the truck for forensic evidence tomorrow. Meanwhile, detectives serve a search warrant today at U.S. Bank in downtown Denver, where Annie works, seizing her computer, hoping to get information from emails. Meyer has not been heard from since February 10th. Her Toyota RAV4 is still missing, and her roommate, Melissa Miller, isn't talking to police, though her father tells 7 News she's taking a polygraph tomorrow. What does Melissa think happened to Annie?
I don't know, really, because she doesn't know herself.
Legal experts say it's common for a potential suspect to take a private polygraph, the results of which would be protected under attorney-client privilege. The most famous example, JonBenet Ramsey's parents.
If it shows her to be truthful, she can then go to the police, go to the prosecutor and say, I'm not a person that you should be charging and you should be suspecting of this crime.
And this is interesting. Yesterday, Melissa Miller, the roommate's father, told me that Melissa had told him Annie's truck, the Toyota, was in a shop on 38th Avenue. Obviously, that was not the case. I asked the family again today if Miller still plans to take a polygraph tomorrow. They said no comment. Reporting live, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
And a news alert.
I have the feeling that there's just something not right.
Reaction tonight from the woman who found the vehicle belonging to Annie Meyer. Both cars belonging to the missing Wheat Ridge woman have been found, but still no sign of Meyer. 7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen is live, and Jacqueline, police are still looking for some very important clues.
That's right. A neighbor found Annie's RAV4 here parked across the street from her house. Police found her truck a couple of miles from here, but they still haven't found her cell phone, iPad, or computer. All of Annie's personal electronic devices disappeared with her. Pulling out of her driveway
just a little bit further back.
Paula Berg had been careful not to hit the RAV4 parked across the street for a week and a half. But last night, when she saw the news, Annie Meyer's other truck found in a parking lot, it clicked.
It was actually my son said, you know that car sitting out there? It could be that missing lady's, and we need to call the police.
Both cars found within a few miles of Annie's house. License plates still on, not hidden or in an auto shop.
Is that any indication that there is foul play?
It's certainly not in and of itself. It's the forensic evaluation of the vehicles that may lead us to that.
Outside U.S. Bank, where Annie worked, her brother holds her missing person flyer, hoping the breaks in the case continue for Annie's sake.
She's just a hard worker, and so it's really difficult, but when you see somebody and they know her, and then everybody loves her.
Even those who haven't met Annie in person have been touched by her story and the questions that still loom large.
When did somebody leave that car there? Did she get in and go with somebody else? Or, you know, just wondering how it all went down. I hope they can find something from this that will lead them to her. They need to find her.
And Annie's roommate, Melissa Miller, still isn't talking to police. Her family told us she was going to take a private lie detector test today. But when I tried to call them to confirm she had taken it, they did not respond. Reporting live, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
Only on 7 News, behind the scenes in the search for missing Wheat Ridge woman, the family of Annie Meyer taking us inside their war room. And 7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen is live in Blackhawk tonight. And Jacqueline, the family is organizing for battle.
They've been pounding the pavement today here in Black Hawk and in Central City asking questions because Annie and her roommate did occasionally come here. It's part of the Meyer family plan to do anything they can to find Annie. A crowded hotel room.
Give me the dates on Verizon.
Now converted to a war room.
We've all been on computers and iPhones and making charts.
Annie's 84-year-old mother, Pat, is one of the fighters. She flew in from Minnesota. Her 8 brothers and sisters are taking turns coming here too, poring over lists of names, dates, and dead ends.
Very frustrating. We think we're onto something and then we go look for another lead.
Annie hasn't been seen in more than a month. Today, for the first time, police allow Annie's best friend and her mother inside her home to look for anything missing.
She saw nothing gone. I mean, Annie didn't pack and go away. I mean, her luggage was all there. I just think Annie was taken out of the house by force.
Today, the family posts flyers in Black Hawk and Central City. They've been meeting with friends, walking the trails Annie walked, fighting the feeling they're losing the battle.
How long do you think you can keep doing this?
I don't know. If there's no answers, what do where do you look or what do you do?
For now, they stay busy paying her bills, making posters, and praying someone will give them peace.
We want her found. We want to take her home.
And last week, police did find both of Meyer's missing vehicles. We checked today, they are still being processed for forensic evidence. And we also found out from family members that someone had actually bought the missing pickup truck, but it's not known who sold it to that buyer. Reporting live, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
We start right now with a developing story. The remains of Annie Meyer found nearly 5 months after she vanished. Her family telling 7 News they were notified by the Park County coroner today. Meyer lived in Wheat Ridge but disappeared back in February, and her remains found in Park County, west of Bailey, on private property off Old Stagecoach Road. Park County deputies blocking that private drive today. They tell us a group found the remains on the 4th of July. Wheat Ridge police arrived on scene today just minutes after Meyer's family told 7 News the body was that of Annie's. 7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen tracking this story from the beginning. And Jacqueline, you're uncovering new details about the investigation tonight.
I'm live here outside Annie Meyer's house, and you can see here behind me, friends have been dropping off flowers, and the missing person signs are still there, a reminder of the hope her friends and family had that she would be found alive. Now that her body has been found, they want to know what happened and who did it.
In the last 5 months, it's been a nightmare.
Through it all, Annie Meyer's closest friends never really gave up hope.
My heart is broken in pieces, really. It's really hard.
But it had been months since the last major break when police found Annie's cars. Those closest to her say, at least now, they know.
It's bittersweet. I'm glad we'll have some closure, but in the same sense, I mean, there's all the unanswered questions.
The question looming large as Park County investigates a homicide. Who did this to Annie? Previously, Wheat Ridge police had said Annie's roommate, Melissa Miller, was not cooperating.
Melissa is very innocent.
Miller's mother and friends tell me she had nothing to do with the disappearance and attempted suicide because of the suspicion. Now, a new round of questions. Had they been up to Park County before?
Yes. Yes, they have. They would go hiking, take the kids and go hiking with them.
For now, Annie's friends take some comfort knowing Annie can finally go home. They never gave up, and they never will.
To say it's over is not true, because the person that's done this to Annie, when that door is closed, then maybe the final closure will happen.
And Annie Meyer's family tells me they are flying in first thing tomorrow morning. We'll learn more about the cause of death and the investigation. Then Wheat Ridge police have a news conference scheduled for 10 a.m. Reporting live in Wheat Ridge, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
And 7 News breaking today's news on our app and online. That's where you can get more on this case from the very beginning. Here's a timeline. February 7th was the last time anyone saw Annie in person. She left work early, saying she was sick. Then on February 10th, she spoke on the phone with her mother, and then police say there was a flood of text messages saying she was sick and wouldn't be coming back to work. That last came on February 27th, and then she was reported missing the next day. Stay with 7 News as we continue to follow developments in this case. Only on 7 News, exclusive video, Annie Meyer's roommate confronted by Meyer's friends. For the first time, we hear Melissa Miller's version of what happened in the days before Meyer went missing.
7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen tracking this case from the beginning. And Jacqueline, today police named Miller as a person of interest in Meyer's death.
Melissa lived with Annie here, and police today say she's pleading the fifth and won't talk to them. She also hasn't responded to our requests for an interview either. But when confronted by Annie's friends just before the body was found, she had a lot to say.
And you guys are frickin' ripping me apart. And I did nothing. I loved Annie more than any of you.
Melissa Miller, Annie Meyer's roommate, doesn't know this confrontation is on camera.
I tried to kill myself. I don't want to live without Annie.
But police have said this woman refused to give them an interview and isn't cooperating. When interrogated by Annie's friends, though, Miller tells a different story.
Do you know that every lead the cops get that they say a tip? It was me. It was me. It wasn't. I've talked to him 9 or 10 times.
Miller claims she carries around a detective's business card just in case she thinks of something.
I don't have it on me right now.
And remember Annie's 2 missing cars? In a surprising revelation, Miller says she had the RAV4 all along and told police where to find it. But tonight, police confirm a neighbor,
just a little bit further back,
called in the tip, telling 7 News the truck had been there for days. Miller is the last known person to have seen Annie Meyer alive.
I dropped her off, Annie, at 6th and Wadsworth.
And in an interesting detail, she says Annie had a bloody nose in the RAV4 when she dropped her off. 4 times during the 12-minute conversation, she talks about attempting suicide shortly after Annie's disappearance, seemingly tormented by loss and by suspicion.
I'm as lost as you guys. I tried to kill myself. I don't even know what to do anymore. I mean, Annie was my whole life.
And Miller says she hasn't joined all of the group searches posting flyers like these because she has been looking for Meyer every single day on her own. Again, that video was covertly recorded before the body was found. You be the judge. We posted the entire confrontation in the video section of our 7 News app. Reporting live in Wheat Ridge, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
Police in the Meyer case updating us on their investigation, saying the remains found in Park County could have been there for 5 months. That property is publicly accessible, but not frequented by hikers. Annie's family flying to Colorado today, saying they are thankful for the discovery.
We're so happy she was found because detectives had told us they might never find her.
The remains will be sent away for testing to determine how Annie Meyer died. Her family says that they'll have a service here in Colorado before taking her home to Minnesota.
Developing tonight, Melissa Miller behind bars, booked in the Park County Jail only within the past 2 hours. And only 7 News is there as Miller arrives at the jail, driven by a Park County deputy. Tonight, she's being held for second-degree murder. She's suspected in the murder of her former roommate, Annie Meyer, who went missing back in February. Annie's friends and family always suspecting Miller was involved.
7 News tracking this story from the beginning when Annie first disappeared from Wheat Ridge. Her remains found on the 4th of July off Old Stagecoach Road west of Bailey. Miller now at the jail in Fairplay, where she will appear in court tomorrow.
7 News with team coverage tonight. Jacqueline Allen talking with Annie's family in Wheat Ridge. And we start with 7 News reporter Mark Stewart live in Fairplay with new details on Miller's arrest.
And Miller arrived here less than 2 hours ago. 7 News, the only station there when she arrived at the garage here at the Park County Jail just after 8:20 tonight. Right away, we have some pictures, some video we shot of her arrival. We noticed a female deputy was in the front seat of the SUV, and I briefly saw Miller herself when she arrived inside the jail. We have been asking, but it's not clear if Miller will be housed in a general holding area or in an individual cell. We have a mugshot of her earlier today when she was taken into custody in Wheat Ridge. Miller did arrive here alone, and we are told by investigators here that she will not allowed to have any visitors. The next important time deadline, though, in this case is tomorrow morning. That is when Miller will make her first court appearance. While the affidavit has her arrested on second-degree murder charges, the district attorney certainly can make adjustments. Again, Melissa Miller here tonight. She will make her first court appearance tomorrow morning. Live in Fairplay, Mark Stewart, 7 News.
Only 7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen has been covering Meyer's disappearance from the very beginning of all of this. Jacqueline, Melissa Miller's friends are telling you that she did nothing, while those closest to Annie Meyer say she is, and the motive was money.
Well, Melissa Miller lived in Annie's home, and Annie's family tells me that Miller wasn't paying rent or bills and she didn't have a job. But Miller's friends say she went to police on her own today and had nothing to hide.
I honestly believe in my heart of hearts that she didn't do it.
If you ask Julia Romero, her longtime friend Melissa Miller had nothing to do with Annie Meyer's death and went to the police station this morning to cooperate.
She said, I'm on my way to the police department. I'm going over there. They called me, said that they need to speak to me again, so I'm on my way over there.
But from the beginning, police have said Miller hasn't cooperated after her roommate Annie Meyer was reported missing nearly 5 months ago. Last week in Park County, police say finding Meyer's remains was the missing puzzle piece, and things fell in place for an arrest.
It's big for us, but it's bigger for the Meyer family, and that's what we're most concerned with today, is starting that process of finding justice for Annie and for the Meyer family.
I do have so much relief from my heart and my family's. It's unbelievable.
Mark Meyer says now they want Melissa Miller held accountable for his sister's murder.
If Melissa Miller did kill your sister, what do you think the motive would be?
Most things in life are about money. My sister was the nicest person there is. If somebody to take advantage of that, that makes me sick. Get her. Get whatever is deserved and prosecute to the end.
The fact that she was charged in Park County is an indication where police think the murder happened. Police would not say what Melissa told them today, but family members on both sides tell us they don't think Melissa confessed, so police must have built their case with other evidence. Live in Wheat Ridge, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
A news alert, a plea deal with this woman, Melissa Miller. She's accused of killing her roommate, Annie Meyer, here on the right. Now, today, we broke the news of a deal on the 7 News app. Jacqueline Allen breaking details on this case from the beginning and has exclusive information tonight.
Mike, if all goes as planned next week, sources close to 7 News tell us that Melissa Miller may plead guilty to second-degree murder charges instead of first. And family members on both sides tell me ending this nightmare would be a relief.
And you guys are frickin' ripping me apart. And I did nothing.
Not long ago, Melissa Miller was denying everything.
I loved Annie more than any of you.
But now, court records show she's willing to make a deal in the death of her roommate, Annie Meyer. Annie went missing from her Wheat Ridge home in February. Her body wasn't found until July. How do you feel about the plea agreement that they're working on?
Well, I think the family is satisfied with it.
Patrick Meyer, seen here last spring in the war room the family made to find his sister, speaks now from Minnesota.
They would put an end to this. We've gone through 9 months of heartache and everything, and we just want it to come to an end.
On the other side, Melissa Miller's mother still doesn't believe her daughter could kill someone, but was terrified of the death penalty.
At least I could go see her. I could go see her.
So to you, this plea agreement would be a relief?
Relief off of my heart.
Especially because since this investigation began,
They've vandalized your license plate?
Yes.
She says she's been harassed, wants someone covering her entire yard with Annie's missing flyers.
And you're ready for this to be over, huh?
Yes, I am. Very much so.
And a judge will decide whether to accept the plea deal 1 week from today. We checked, second-degree murder carries a wide-ranging penalty from 4 to 48 years. So at 54 years old, Miller could still be in prison for the rest of her life. Reporting live, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
New at 10, a family celebrating the final chapter in a murder mystery that haunted the Front Range for months. Jacqueline Allen live in Park County, where tomorrow there will finally be some answers in the murder of Annie Meyer. Jacqueline?
9 agonizing months after Annie Meyer disappeared from her home, her roommate will be in court here tomorrow. Sources tell 7 News, pleading guilty to second-degree murder. For Annie Meyer's friends and family, this is almost a celebration. Almost.
Today is all about Annie getting the justice that Annie deserves.
They've traveled from all over the country to this hotel room in Fairplay because this is the county where Annie's body was found after months of searching. And it's where her roommate, Melissa Miller, is set to take a plea deal tomorrow.
Well, we didn't want to go through a trial. We just felt that she's lied about so many things that if we had a trial, maybe a juror would believe some of her lies.
Annie's mother says the 20 years Miller may get isn't enough, but it's the best they can hope for.
Hopefully everything will go the way we want it to tomorrow.
Accepting the closure they can get.
But it still is sad.
Wishing for something more.
Really sad.
But in this final chapter, they say there will be some justice for Annie, and that's worth celebrating.
We're so happy to have met you and know you. And here's to Banana Pants. We love you, girl. Yeah. Annie!
And we will be in the courtroom tomorrow when the judge decides whether to accept this deal, and he may also sentence Annie. If so, the family says it will have something to be thankful for on Thanksgiving. Reporting live in Fairplay, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
Some breaking news to share with you out of Park County. This is where Melissa Miller has just been sentenced to 20 years in prison for killing her roommate, Annie Meyer. Now, Miller accepted a plea deal admitting she's guilty of second-degree murder. 7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen in Park County joins us live now. And Jacqueline, the victim's family didn't hold back in court today.
No, they didn't. And in just the last half hour here at the Park County Courthouse, we obtained the now unsealed arrest affidavit that showed Melissa Miller confessed to hitting her roommate, Annie Meyer, in the head in the mountains near Bailey. And this morning in court, we heard her plead guilty to second-degree murder with a 20-year prison sentence. Now, our 7 News cameras were in the courtroom today as Melissa Miller walked in. Family and friends on both sides spoke to their judge, and as you said, they didn't hold back. Annie Meyer's 85-year-old mother, Pat, she drove down here all the way from Minnesota. She took the opportunity to talk about the Sunday morning phone calls from her daughter that she misses so much. She says she'll never forgive Melissa. Annie's brother, Mark, said that Annie did almost everything right in this life except choosing her roommate. Some new details came out in court this morning. The DA said Melissa Miller made things even worse because after she killed Annie, she spent Annie's money at casinos.
I can't believe that Miss Miller took my sister to the mountains near here, killed her, and left her for the wild animals to take her. That is so hard to get out of my mind, and I never will.
That's Annie's brother speaking. Now, Melissa did not speak in court today, but her public defender read a statement, and this is what he said. This case was about a single disastrous moment in time she would take back if she could. Now, family members of Annie Myers agreed to this plea agreement, they said, because it would avoid a long trial and all the lies they've been dealing with since this happened back in February. But they said Melissa will be eligible for parole in about 13 to 14 years. They said, though, they will be at those parole hearings and they will make sure that she doesn't get out a day early. We'll continue to follow this developing story and have the latest tonight at 5. Reporting live in Fairplay, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
And tonight, this woman, Melissa Miller, sitting in jail, sentenced to 20 years in prison for killing her roommate, Annie Meyer. 7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen has been covering the story since day one. Jacqueline, a lot of social media reactions at the sentencing, thinking 20 years for murder isn't enough.
Well, the sentence was part of a plea bargain Annie's family agreed to in order to avoid a trial. So today, Miller pled guilty to second-degree murder in an emotional hearing with finally some answers about what happened to Annie.
Post call 13 CR 36, People versus Melissa Miller.
After months of denying anything to do with her roommate Annie Meyer's death, Melissa Miller finally says the word people in this courtroom have been waiting to hear.
Murder in the second degree, a class 2 felony. How do you plead?
Guilty. Guilty. But is that enough, considering court records now unsealed show Melissa confessed to detectives that back in February, she struck Annie with a walking stick, wrapped her head in plastic wrap, and left her to die in the mountains.
That is so hard to get out of my mind, and I never will.
Prosecutors say it was all about greed. Melissa took Annie's money, spent it at casinos, while family and friends desperately searched for her.
A lot of sleepless nights. I took 5.5 weeks off and searched. I hope that someday I can hike again without looking for a body.
In court, Melissa did not speak for herself, her attorney reading a statement.
This is a case about a single disastrous moment in time that Melissa Miller would take back if she could.
But she can't. Annie Myers described as an author, an athlete, a poet. She worked hard and played hard and loved her family and friends. Her only downfall was her generosity. In court today, Melissa Miller is already making plans to see her friends and family next. Those closest to Annie Meyer will never have that chance again. Annie's family says they are relieved to put this nightmare behind them. They almost all live in Minnesota, and they've driven here 9 times in the last 9 months. But they say Melissa could be eligible for parole in 13 years, and they will be here for every parole board hearing, asking that she doesn't get out a day early. Reporting live, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.